What's up, dude? Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I don't really have anything to preface this with, so let's just jump right into it. So I'm sure we all remember the case of the 6-year-old student who brought a handgun to school and shot their teacher, Abby Zwerner. This is just kind of an update on that case. Honestly, that is the gist of it. A 6-year-old brought a handgun to school and shot their teacher. It was also reported on that the student had behavioral issues as well, so that's something you kind of need to know before I go into the update, but that's pretty much it. So here's the update. I am, as a parent, obviously willing to take responsibility for him because he can't take responsibility for himself, Deja Taylor said in an exclusive interview with ABC News. Deja has been charged with a felony count of child neglect and a misdemeanor count of recklessly leaving a firearm as to endanger a child, according to the prosecutors. Thankfully, Abby, the teacher, has recovered from the shooting and has filed a $40 million lawsuit against the Newport News School District and Recheck Elementary officials. The lawsuit states that the school district ignored multiple warnings about the 6-year-old's behavior, as well as concerns that he may have a gun. Abby's lawyer, Diane Toscano, said in a statement about the new charges, "There were failures in accountability at multiple levels that led to Abby being shot and almost killed. Today's announcement addresses but one of those failures. It has been 3 months of investigation and still so many unanswered questions remain. Our lawsuit makes clear that we believe the school division violated state law, and we are pursuing this in civil court. We will not allow school leaders to escape accountability for their role in this tragedy." I mean, holding people accountable, not a bad thing. Lawyers for the school board have filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit by claiming that Abby's injuries were covered under the state's workers' compensation law. She was approved to receive the benefits of this law, but she turned it down. Deja describes her son as a great kid, but very energetic due to his condition, ADHD. Not an uncommon condition for kids to have. "He's off the wall, doesn't sit still ever," she said. In interviews that Abby has done, and also in her lawsuit, she characterized the little boy as very violent, stating that he slammed the cell phone on the ground so hard that it cracked and shattered. This happened after Abby asked him to sit down while he was asking her a question. Which, I mean, it is annoying, but yeah, in elementary school, kids are supposed to stay seated, which I understand can be very hard because as a kid, typically, you're pretty energetic, and honestly, just being at school is kind of sort of exciting still at that point, so it's really hard to just stay confined into your seat. I remember that being a child, I would get so incredibly bored during class, like as an elementary school kid, that I would count the colors in the room. Literally, I would sit there and I would count the different colored chairs, like if there's 3 different colors of chairs, 1, 2, 3. Then on the wall there would be roughly 3 different colors because of shadows and highlights, and then just the neutral color on the wall, and then the carpet had 3 different colored threads in it, so that was 3, whatever. So yeah, I might have had ADHD as a kid if I was counting the colors in the room, but I'm just saying it is hard for kids to sit still, but unfortunately that is something that our teachers have to teach us how to do, so I understand both sides. "He threw his arms up. He said fine. And when he threw his arms up, he knocked her phone out of her hand on accident," Deja said. The incident resulted in the little boy being suspended. Deja claimed that only the screen protector had broken and claims that she had offered to replace it. Abby also said in the lawsuit that he had a history of random violence and that he attacked students and teachers alike. Deja said that the little boy actually really liked Abby, and during the week of the shooting, he felt like he was being ignored. You know, most children, when they're trying to talk to you, and if you easily just brush them off, or you ask them to sit down, or you're dealing with something else and you try to ask them to go and sit down at 6 years old, you in your mind would believe that somebody's not listening to me and you have a tantrum, Deja said. I mean, yes, but also, even as a 6-year-old, you're supposed to have learned that, you get brushed off a lot as a kid. And sometimes your teachers don't have time to visit with you, or if they're helping somebody else, you have to learn patience. So, I'm not saying that she's wrong because, kids really do get annoyed when you're not listening to them. I mean, there's been, times where my nephew, even if I'm listening to him, but I'm not necessarily looking at him, he'll keep repeating my name and, tapping me, Carlee, 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 and he's trying to get my attention. Even if I say, yeah, buddy, I'm listening to you, They want you to look at them so that way they know that you are actively listening to them. Sorry, my phone keeps going off. They want to know that you're actively listening to them. So it's like, okay, I know for a little kid, patience is really hard and stuff. However, that is something that we have to learn from a young age. So again, I see both sides. Deja's attorney claims that the ultimate responsibility for the shooting is on the school officials who prematurely enrolled the boy in first grade, despite knowing that he had only attended 2 months of kindergarten and 2 months of pre-K, as well as his ADHD diagnosis. Okay, Deja, but why did your kid only go to 2 months of kindergarten? Honestly, I know nowadays, it's more common for kids to go to pre-K and then kindergarten. If you don't go to pre-K, that's almost more uncommon. Kind of like how kindergarten used to be. Kindergarten used to not be mandatory. My mom didn't go to kindergarten. It was kind of like the pre-K at the time. Now kindergarten's mandatory. Well, when I was a kid, you didn't have to go to pre-K. Lots of kids didn't go to pre-K. But now it's, becoming more of a thing. So it almost seems like nowadays, if you want your kid to be at the same level as their fellow kindergartners, you gotta send them to pre-K. Honestly, as a kid, I should have gone to pre-K too. However, that's a story for another time. So I'm just saying, okay, but why did he only go to 2 months of kindergarten? Also, Deja, you could have said, I want my kid to stay in kindergarten 1 more year. My mom did that to my brother. She tried to homeschool my brother and it didn't work out, so she knew that he wasn't doing great in school because the school told her, and then they just collectively came to the decision that, hey, perhaps he should do another year of kindergarten. Honestly, in the end, it worked out for the best. I'm just saying, Deja needs to take some responsibility here as well. And I don't know, maybe this just isn't coming across the right way. Since I read the article, I don't know, maybe there was something else behind the scenes, but I'm just saying, okay, you had some choice in that matter too. You're the mom. Let's take some responsibility here. You know what I mean? It's not all in the school. Plus, nowadays, there's that program, No Child Left Behind. I know in elementary school, they'll be more likely to hold you back, but as soon as you get out of elementary school, man, you are not getting held back. No matter how much you struggle, they're going to keep pushing you through the system. So, I don't know. If they believed all of these behaviors to be true, then they should not have allowed him to advance to a higher level, James Ellenson, who is Deja's attorney, had said. They should have put him back into kindergarten, possibly even pre-K, but at the minimum, to kindergarten. Oh my gosh, okay, that's really starting to bother me. It wasn't the school. Perhaps Deja should have done something. Anyways, the school had requested that Deja or other family members be present in class with the little boy because of his behavioral challenges. That was their special program that they had set up for him to help him in class. However, the school told the family that was no longer necessary. So the week before, no, I'm wrong. The week of the shooting, that was the week that they quit going to school with him. He had started medication and was meeting his goals academically, Deja said. He was in kindergarten. If he can count to 10 and knows the ABCs, he's doing pretty solid academically. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I'm not totally for little kids being on medication either, because little kids are just kind of psychopaths as it is, you know what I mean? But if he actually did have a history of being violent and disruptive and stuff, maybe a little bit of medication was maybe a good move. I don't think all kids should be on medication just because they're rowdy. That's not what I'm saying by any means, because I don't think that. But he was meeting his goals academically. Okay, so he was meeting his goals academically, but then you also said that you thought the school should have held him back. So, which is it, Deja? Was he meeting his goals, or should he have been held back? I'm just kind of putting this together now as I'm rereading my notes. That doesn't really add up, in my personal opinion, but whatever. Deja's grandfather, Calvin Taylor, who has legal custody of the little boy, agreed that his behavior had changed for the better in the classroom prior to the incident. He was more attentive, he tried to follow along, he tried to do the coursework, Calvin said, but in all fairness to the other kids in the class, sometimes it was just too much for him. Reasonable. James, again, Deja's attorney, said that the gun was legally purchased, and Deja added that she last saw it when it was locked, but since then, James said, nobody knows how the little boy got a hold of it. At the time of the shooting, Deja's mental state was frail. She said that she was suffering from postpartum depression after a line of miscarriages and was even hospitalized for a week. Honestly, for that, I feel a lot of sympathy for her. That's not easy, and giving up custody of your kid I'm sure that wasn't easy. I mean, but also, like, good for her that she was, you know, trying to look out for her kid and doing what was best for him. She is now facing up to 6 years of prison time. She said, "I just truly would like to apologize that she, Abby, didn't get hurt. We are actually kind of forming a relationship with me having to be in the classroom, and she's really a bright person." James said that a more appropriate sentence for Deja would be probation or community service if she is liable for the alleged negligence. The little boy is still in the custody of Calvin Taylor, who said that he is in a new school and getting therapy, which I think is a fantastic move. Because you don't know when this incident could suddenly hit him as a grown person. He might all of a sudden realize, oh my God, I shot my teacher when I was 6 years old. That's a lot to unpack. So I really think that it's fantastic that they have him in therapy now and can hopefully nip that kind of thing in the bud, because he could have PTSD later on. I remember things from when I was 6, kind of, but like, I mean, I didn't go through anything traumatic like that. So I think great on them that they're getting him therapy. I kind of have mixed feelings about this development. I mean, so on one hand, Deja's saying, oh, he was doing great. Like, his behavior was better. He was meeting his goals academically. But then on the flip side, she's trying to say that the school should have held him back, that it was then the school's fault all of a sudden. But it's like, if, like you said, he was doing better academically and was meeting, you know, his goals and his behavior was improved, it's like, okay, so which is it? I don't know. That part kind of bugs me. I don't know. But I would like to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please be respectful, because we are talking about real people here. Because it's a 6-year-old boy, if you somehow, some way know the name of him, do not comment it, because he's a minor. That's why I don't mention his name. Plus, I have never read his name, so we are going to keep his identity anonymous. So don't comment his name or anything if you, like I said, some way know it. That being said, if you guys found this video to be interesting, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. If you don't subscribe, totally fine. Thanks for hanging out with me today, but I will be back on Monday with another true crime career video, so I will see you guys then. I hope that you have a safe and happy weekend. Bye, guys.